Good day, folks. In our previous lecture, we discussed about taking a series of assumptions under three different scenarios and putting them into a forecast. So we started with these assumptions. We went over and we calculated what the sales would be in each of these years based on the application of the assumptions we made, which is a qualitative information, which we applied to the historical numbers, which is data. We did some computations and came up with total sales. Now, this was based on certain assumptions of growth, implementation of plans. Okay, now, the other thing that we can do is we can use Excel, and this is, if you go bring an Excel sheet up, you're going to see right up here, it's called Excel forecast sheet. And what I did is I wanted to statistically say, based on what had happened in the past, that's the timeline, and these are the years. Now, each timeline, you have to have even numbers. I can't use uneven numbers. That's just the way it works. So what I did is, this is year one, so I used 365 days. So everything is based in days. But I put in the actuals, and it developed a forecast with an upper and lower confidence level. So this forecast predicts future values using existing time-based data and the AAA version of the exponential smoothing ETS algorithm with 95% confidence. So this is the statistical number that comes up. Now remember, we made some qualitative assumptions. But one of the things that is often good to do is to look at it statistically and say, are we within a range or close? So what I did is, here's 19, and I laid it out bear, BAU, and bull, and here's the upper and the lower range. Now, if I'm looking in the first year, I'm in the range, basically, the high end of the range. But I know I've made some strategic decisions to go higher based on some strategies. But as we keep going through this and we compare the upper and the lower range, we are within a statistical range. That gives us a little more confidence. Now, how do we create this? Well, I'm going to just take this and I'm going to copy this because this is our information. So if I just copy and I put it down here, paste, and I am going to put the values like this, and if I click on the forecast sheet, I wanted it to end at 4015, and it creates it. So I can also do it as a bar chart, but I think the line is probably the better one to see. I press create, and there we are. And that's you can do this with any value in time series. So if we wanted to do it for a volume, that could also work. But one of the things, and put the volumes in, but the purpose of this really is to say we sort of need to validate our sales assumption that are something that are statistically within range. Now, we can put in tremendous growth numbers, and I think when you look at some companies today, they're having a high valuation, and they wouldn't fit this. So what I always do is take a look at that and say, hey, am I close enough? But again, it's giving me some level of confidence that statistically this is achievable. Now, everything is possible, but this helps us evaluate some of the probability that goes into things. So what I have next is I actually have a video on Excel, and I think Excel is a powerful tool, and as you leave this wonderful institution, your knowledge of Excel and what you can do becomes important. So I have this other video attached. I encourage you to look at it, and we will incorporate this into our project number 3.